This is a lecture on Mexican independence. We've already discussed the fact that under the Habsburgs, there was some neglect of the colony, which translated into autonomy and home rule. This experience fostered or delayed, you can say, independence. There was a sense of we can get along and be a part of the Spanish Empire. The Enlightenment had some very positive effects, to be sure, and it had the ideas of natural rights, popular sovereignty. The Bourbons and the Church, the Enlightenment had a positive impact on them as well. Science, ports, economy. For the Church, the love of God, social development, social wellness, human development, and so on. It had a positive impact, but it also had this other factor where it fostered effective control or effective government, effective rule, and that meant, of course, intrusion. This intrusion of the monarchs and the Church is affected by these world events that are taking place in the 1700s. There's revolutions across the globe. So there's all kinds of social and political turmoil. That political turmoil spills into Spain. Napoleon comes back, stabilizes France after the turmoil of the revolution, incorporates some ideas of the revolution, and then expands into Spain. And this is an empire, and sets up his brother on the Spanish throne. This will bring all kinds of trouble in Spain, and there is a popular movement against the French imposition, and eventually it would be against the monarchy. And this is going to affect the colonies as well. In time, the French leave, and there's a democratic constitution of 1812, and the colonists are invited to participate, and they do, as sort of as separate kingdoms within the Spanish Empire. Well, confusing matters. The Bourbons return to rule in Spain, but by that point, loyalty to the king and Spain cannot be restored to its former loyalty and intensity as it had been before. In the process of this political turmoil, foreign ships begin to arrive with cheaper manufactured goods. This displaces the Mexican manufacturers, and the turmoil disrupts the mining process as well. So there's economic disruption in the colony as well as a result of the political turmoil in Europe. The restored monarchy, of course, needs money to restore its place in the European community. And this means new taxes in New Spain. There's these forced loans that are imposed on criollos, basically surcharges, extra taxes. There's this terrible thing of confiscation of church funds. The church, in order to come up with the cash, has to call in the mortgages that it had out there, and this puts pressure on the criollos, who are the hacendados, the Creoles, who are the hacendados. So the restoration of the monarchy had a downside as well, new impositions on the colony. At this point, as we've said, the international crisis has disrupted the loyalty of the colony to Spain. We've already said that. But also importantly, it has disrupted the colonial social order. The living side by side interdependency of Peninsular and Creoles, the fact that they were the elites, that they had investments together, all of this creates new tensions between the Peninsulars and the Creoles. And of course, between the elites and the castas, the Indians and the mixed bloods. So this disrupted the social order within the colony. The get-along kind of processes between the Peninsulars and the Creoles, and of course between the elites and the lower classes. In the process of this turmoil, the Creoles gain power and assert home rule. They're very concerned with maintaining the colonial order. They see that Spain is not in a position to do that, and so it's their role to establish order within the colony. So you have this issue of the elites, Creole elites, being concerned that this disruption will create some kind of revolution of the masses. The Peninsulars overreact to this Creole move, and they counter by deposing the city councils, Creole city councils. So you can see that that the kind of relationship of figuring out how we relate to one another between Peninsulars and Creoles is disrupted. Some of the Creoles react by planning revolts, and they can only succeed if they have the assistance of the Indians and the castas, who are themselves suffering from a famine. So you have a crisis among the elites, and they're going to draft in the Indians and castas, which in some areas are suffering terribly.